The story of America's national security started before the nation itself. It has been built in the halls of the Capitol, on the decks of carriers, in the laboratories and schools where the next generation of technology takes shape. 250 years in, that story is still being written.
But beneath it all, there is a foundation that has always been there. The communities that surround our military installations. They train the workforce. They power the bases, they build the ships and systems that keep the nation safe. They don't support the mission, they are part of the mission.
For 50 years, the modern defense community has redefined what that foundation means. Today, the threats are bigger, faster, and close to home. The stakes are high. What makes defense community central to our national security?
And what will it take to keep that foundation strong for the next generation?
Welcome to Homefront, stories from America's defense communities. We're in Southeastern Connecticut. This is the submarine capital of the world. It's a region whose history with the Navy runs deep. But it's also a place that teaches us about where we're headed and what national security starts at home means in the future. The sail of a submarine is its eyes and ears, the command tower that guides every mission. One now sits near the Thames River in Groton, Connecticut, and will soon have a new mission as a monument to the people who have defined it.
So this is the older part of Electric Boat.
We sat down with Bob Ross, who has spent almost 2 decades as a champion of Connecticut's defense communities.
The first designated submarine base in the United States Navy, and they call it the first and finest for that reason. We have Electric Boat people working on the base, and we have active duty sailors down here at Electric Boat building a new submarine. Right. So that synergy is unique here.
Electric Boat in particular, we're going to be hiring over 8,000 employees this year between Groton, Connecticut and Quonset Point, Rhode Island. In Connecticut specifically, we'll be hiring over 2,000 in the trades and another 2,000 or so in support.
Employers and the community work with local schools to train for the jobs they know are coming.
Over the bumper intake here. So
to have this for robotics and engineering, the architectural planning and the machining is great so that our students can do the training right here to be ready for those careers at Electric Boat. So really, it's endless opportunity.
I'm a high school senior. I'm looking to pursue a career at Electric Boat as soon as I graduate. My father, he was a nuclear mechanic based in Groton for like 25 years.
It's not just JT. We met a lot of people in Southeastern Connecticut who have come from generations of shipbuilders, sailors, engineers, mechanics, and more.
I'm a 4th generation employee.
My great-grandfather and my grandfather were both pattern makers.
When your dinner table conversations are all about getting the next ship out, submarine construction was our every single day at home.
There is that sense of pride, seeing something go from beginning stages to end stages, that it's just like, wow, I did that.
It is about the mission capability of the products and what they do for national defense.
So we had a huge tent set up on the pier, but amazing. I'd never commissioned a warship.
What's it like to take a new ship out?
Our community has embraced all of the over 12,000 sailors and civilians that are working on the base every day here, and our partnerships that we have continued to develop and grow to make this a base that continues to be at the peak of its strategic importance for our nation and our Navy.
What makes Southeastern Connecticut work isn't just tradition or talent. It's about being ready for whatever the mission demands. And one of the most critical elements of that readiness is power. So critical that community after community has stepped up to solve it. That same commitment shows up outside Colorado Springs, where a defense community infrastructure program project is eliminating wildfire risk and protecting the mission. It's one of the many investments from a program that pairs federal dollars with local ones.
This is absolutely one of the best spots at the Air Force Academy. Colorado Springs Utilities has been a valuable partner, and we both have the similar interest in readiness in our energy and water infrastructure here. And so really what the program is taking some of the overhead electrical lines that run about 4 miles through some very treacherous terrain that's very vulnerable to all the elements around here, and putting it underground. So that way it provides that energy readiness and resilience for the Academy as well as the entire region.
What's happening in Colorado and Connecticut is critical, but there's another dimension to what makes defense communities central to our national security. Matt headed to Alabama to find out.
In 1941, the Army bought about 80 farms in Huntsville, Alabama, to establish what we now know as Redstone Arsenal. What has shaped up here since then was actually the vision of Werner von Braun, a former German scientist the U.S. brought to the States after World War II. He was part of the plan as the U.S. looked past World War II and toward the Cold War.
The German rocket team came here and basically began America's ballistic missile program at Redstone. Between into World War II and 50, they lived at Fort Bliss and worked at Wysan's missile range. So actually our missile program started, from what we learned from launching a bunch of V-2s. The Redstone missile was their first big triumph, and that was the beginning.
The beginning of what would grow an arsenal into a thriving defense community now known as Rocket City, USA.
Last time I was here was 2001, and I was an 18-year-old private here for Army Ordnance Training. In fact, this building behind us, which is now a Welcome Center, used to be our chow hall.
A lot has changed in Huntsville since I was here 25 years ago, and there's a lot more growth to come as missions and industry grow.
We call it a federal center of excellence. We have, I think it's 67 different agencies sitting out at Redstone Arsenal, and every one of those agencies add to the mix of keeping this country safe.
It's broadened to the point where high tech is here. We got more science and scientists and engineers here than you have in Silicon Valley per capita.
Really?
It's impressive.
Well, when you go into a grade school and they're doing some of the basics of how to code, you know that you're way beyond my capabilities, or at least my generation's capabilities. But they're learning how to code in the second, third, fourth grade.
And beyond those early grades, the Alabama School of Cyber Technology and Engineering is a magnet high school. Students from all 67 counties come to campus to train for careers of today and the future. And as industry expands in the area, those are the students they're going to.
Yes, it actually worked for one of our students. We have Leidos, we have Raytheon, we have Deloitte, we have SAIC, and those are the companies that have said, hey, we want to partner with your school and we want your students to come and intern for us. And so your senior year, you'll have them come in and they'll pitch to you. They'll say, hey, this is what we do at Deloitte. And if you want to go into this career, this is the perfect place to be. And then the seniors will have the opportunity to rank their top 3 choices.
Well, as we can still hear the construction here in the background, I mean, our people are probably used to that at this point.
We really are. I mean, you look out here, we have cranes going on, we have construction going on, but we also have business happening here too. And you have to make a good mix of all of it. We are going to continue to grow. My philosophy is if you don't grow, you die as a city.
We set out to answer a question. What will it take to build the foundation of national security for the next generation? These stories are just a glimpse at what's happening in hundreds of communities around the country. But they show us what the essential elements of that foundation look like in action. Always be ready for what the mission demands. Build resilience into everything, and never let go of the bond between community and installation. That's how communities build their own ecosystem, shaped for the mission and fueled by shared purpose.
That doesn't happen on its own. It takes sustained investment, policy alignment, a national commitment to infrastructure, workforce pipelines, and energy and cyber resilience, and an expanded federal partnership that invests not in just today's mission, but in the leaders who will carry it forward.
Back in Connecticut, workers at Electric Boat are restoring a submarine to stand alongside that sail, a monument to the people who have built this community for generations.
From the battles of Brack to the partnerships built over hundreds of years, we've always known one thing: the foundation has never built itself.
It has always started at home. The home front is where America's strength is built, and it always will be.